All right, guys, so I'm back here today with another scan tool. Now, this here is the Kingbolen S608. This here is a 4-system scanner. It has free lifetime updates. It has 9 special functions, and it is bi-directional. So what I'm gonna do here quickly first is I'm gonna go through the menu real quick, and then we're gonna dive right into the actual diagnostic software. So let's just start with diagnose. So if you hit diagnose here, what happens is that you're greeted with this screen here. If you hit auto search, we'll come back to that later, it'll automatically pull the VIN from the car and the make and model and the trim. In some cases, you may have to enter that information manually, so you just scroll down and then you pick your make, and then it'll kind of walk you through everything you need to do from there. All right, let's go to OBD software here. This is a generic OBD software here. So what's going to happen when we first go in, it's going to automatically determine what protocol the car is going to be on, and then you'll be able to go through the different modes of the data. And so you need to see this because some scan tools with OBD2 just jump right into the live data or make it more obvious. This one right here has the actual modes laid out, and we're going to talk about these modes. This here is just giving you a snapshot of what's going on here. And we'll just jump over this information here, and we're going to hit enter over here on the right side of the screen. And by the way, this is a touch screen unit, as you see me touching the screen, but you also got these press buttons controls over here, and that's important. So say if you're wearing gloves or your hand is really dirty and you don't want to touch the screen, so you got one or the other depending on what you want to do. I mainly use touch screen. All right, so in this here, the modes that's going to be the most important are going to be the I am readiness mode. That's going to be if you are going to get your car inspected. So if you hit that, we'll just say readiness status after DTC is cleared, and you should see everything is pretty good. Everything is ready. If it's not supported, that means that is totally fine. It doesn't means that you don't have to worry about it. All right, so let's go back. The live data, we'll come back there in a second. Freeze frame is, if you're not familiar with freeze frame data, freeze frame is going to be when you have a check engine light, and all the data PIDs that are associated, I guess, with that check engine light, whatever data that's being displayed or being read internally by the computer is going to, the computer is going to take a snapshot. And then when you go into mode, the freeze frame data, which is mode 2, it'll display that data so that can help with diagnostics as well. So sometimes that's why OBD2 can actually help you in some cases better than the diagnostic software from the manufacturer. Everything else here is pretty obvious. In some cases, some stuff is it takes a little bit more know-how to kind of read the information. But let's jump back up to live data inside of the OBD2 software, and just to show you that you're just going to be a set number of data pairs based on the OBD2 protocol. So let's go ahead and select all, and we're going to hit OK. As you see, you get all of these data pairs. And this is just OBD2, by the way. And you notice everything over here where it says graph in that column that's red, it has a red icon lit up that's not grayed out. That means it can be actually visually graphed. So let's just go ahead and graph one really quick and take a look at how that looks. That so even though nothing is happening, I mean, you can clearly see the values on the X and Y axis. You can clearly see the lines, any little oscillations in those lines, you can clearly see that as well. We're going to take a look at more data PIDs later on. I'm just trying to run through this OBD2 software really quick because I do think it's important, although we buy these things for the manufactured diagnostic software and the bidirectional control, OBD2 can sometimes be that go-to that can really help you out in some cases. All right, so let's back up out of here. We'll finish going through the menu really quickly. Maintenance is going to be show you the 9 resets you have, which is ABD. You can look at these: ABS, battery, brake pad, DPF, electronic throttle, gear learning, injector coating or reset, and steering angle reset. So these are the 9 you're going to get with this particular unit here. So if something like this might help you out, this scan tool could be for you. All right, so next we go to file. File is just going to be where you're going to have multiple, where all your readings or scans have been saved. So as you can see, I've done 4 right here. So if you need to go back, you can do this. You got reports here. If you save it as a report, I haven't saved anything as a report. Also, you have that all right here as PDF, and I believe you might can save screenshots to it as well. So that's what the other may mean, I believe. All right, this is back out. Upgrade is just what it is. It means you can upgrade your software here, as you can see. I don't need anything upgraded. Everything is fully upgraded, but you can go to your upgraded software and you can actually see what's been upgraded. Now, if you want to remove software from this unit because you're losing space, there's plenty of space on this unit, by the way. But if for some reason you do a lot of scanning and taking videos and taking pictures and you're running out of space, you want to delete some scan tool software you don't use, you can just long press on a software right here. And it says this vehicle would be deleted. Are you sure? And you can hit OK, and boom, it's gone just like that. And what it does is sends it right back over to the upgradable software menu. It's not like you lose that software. It's just now you can reinstall it through the upgrade menu. All right, so repair info is just going to be, you're going to get all these little features here to facilitate it, such as the browser, which is nice because you can research codes. You get a fault code library. You can also a coverage list, for example. We'll click a few of these. You can get some learning and some user manuals. Let's look at the fault code library right quick. Let's just put in where's it, 0420 and hit OK. There it is. Catalytic efficiency below threshold bank 1, and it gives you a good detailed spiel here what that is, and that could also help you out. Let's back up a little bit here. We go to coverage list here. You can look up a particular make and model and see what on the scan tool allegedly will be covered by it. Now, don't forget, there's one thing to note, that not all features are going to be usable on all models. Okay, so let's just pick sort of let's just say if you wanted the brake reset to work for your car, and you have, I don't know, a 2010 Silverado. You hit brake reset here. Let's see how this should move right along here. And we're going to say make would be Chevrolet. I guess it should be, or GM. It may just say GM then. May go to GM. GM. No, that's not right. Hold up here. Give me a second, because it says GM. That just must be sort of like something depending on, because that's why you only saw that thing Athlon. That must meant like for, yeah, Chevrolet truck. Here we go. That's what it was. Must have been a generic for some particular country. Okay, so here we go to, let's just go, I don't know, Silverado 4500. That should be good. We'll select year, which is 2010, only 29. So that's more, in other words, the truck, the year I'm looking for is not here, but let's just do 2019 and click that down, and 2019 is on this list here. So in other words, that's an example where you can figure out if a feature, somebody say, hey, will this scan tool work for this? If you wanted to help somebody out, you can just go to the coverage list, look up that year, make, and model, and see what's available. All right, so next we go to learning here. Learning should give some more learning resources for you to figure things out. Special function, playback learning. So it looks like it's, let me see here. Function for each to help users learn special functions of each brand. So it's like, so it would give you the steps here, but apparently, but it looks like it's not. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I clicked it, and you got some different learning things here. I don't want to really go through these because I want to stay more focused on the actual use of the software. But in other words, it's resources if you need it. Let's just put it like that. All right, so you also got the user's manual. We're not going to open that, but again, if you want to use it, there that is. All right, so next, let's see here. We went through upgrade, repair info, and settings. Again, is where you're going to find more stuff. But what's important on this, I'm just showing you this list here so you can read it if you want to slow down. I'm going to go a little slower here. But what's important to see, I'll show you 3 things important on this page. If you want to do FCA diagnostics and you want to connect the scan tool to that, you can come here and you can buy it, or do the T-code exchange to be able to do that. And also for the Renault Gateway Unlock, you can also buy it now or do a T-code exchange for that feature to unlock it. Now, what else is important? Here on this page here, other information, other things that's important. If you want to put in your information or your business for your report, you can do that. And you can also upload a logo through this little logo here. You can choose from album, for example, and just all you have to do is add the photo to your unit, and boom, there that is. You can add that. You can also add the customer. You got customer management here. And this is where you can add customers and kind of keep track of customers, like how much they spend, their problem they had on their cars. So maybe if you're sitting in your car and you just say, for example, a customer came in with this Silverado today, but came in a month ago and had an issue, you don't have to go in and look at a computer to see what they came in for. Maybe that visit that came a month ago is related to what you're doing today. So that's why this is a good thing to be able to have right at your fingertips when you're in the car diagnosing. All right, so now let's go back to diagnose here. We're gonna go ahead and do auto search. And again, when you do auto search, if you're not familiar, it should, I guess, did I hit that? Let me do that again. You should get the VIN number, the year, make, and model for most cars from 1996 to present. And if not, you have to enter it manually. But one thing I want you to note on this screen, which is on all screens, if you look up in the top left of the screen, you'll see the battery voltage. So that's also a little diagnostic helper as well. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. We'll talk about what's in this, what 3 features are in this menu here. And surprisingly, this scan tool here is, I would say fairly, it's not the super fastest, but I'd say it's fairly good. It's a 16 pin here. We are in the United States. And once you get past this menu here, now your vehicle may be different. They may ask you about several different type of modules. I know my truck, they ask about the radio, they ask about some other module, but they ask about a couple of them. So, you know, in other words, you may have more or less questions before you actually get to the screen here. Now the health report is going to actually read each module, or don't forget, there's only 4 modules here for DTCs, and see if there's anything wrong. System scan is going to tell you which modules are present. And why do you want to do that? Well, in some cases, you might just want to see if a module is online or not. Yes, the health report will let you know that as well, but you may just want to see it from another angle, depending on the situation. System selection might be if you just want to just select the system and go into that system without having to go through any sort of scanning. You can do that as well. So let's start with system selection here. As you see, there's many, even though this is on a four module scanner, there is other systems you can pick from. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of these systems are going to be online for the scan tool, but some of them will. Because, for example, I know that this electronic power steering module is online. You can actually read that. It'll tell you this is standard for Honda here. This little pop up, and then you can sort of get information from this here. All right, so let's go to system scan. System scan is just going to scan it's telling you all of these things that's equipped, and it's only going to show you the 4 that this scan tool is capable of. See, it says if you look at all these SRSs and things like that, it tells you the active engine mount control, not equipped, and so voila. Now, some cases you may only have 3 modules, because you're going to have what you call a powertrain control module, or a PCM. And that's going to have the control unit for the engine and for the transmission. In this case, like most newer cars, you're going to have separate modules for that. ECM, TCM, and here you got ABS and SRS. So this is the 4 modules that the scan tool is specifically designed for. All right, let's go back again. Okay, let's hit back here. All right, let's go ahead and do a health report here. Go ahead and do that. Engine should be running. We'll go ahead and blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and jump. And this should be quick. Don't forget, and that's an advantage of only having a 4 system scanner, is that it because it's only doing 4 systems, it's very quick. It says 4 systems found, 0 DTCs. That's great. I love it. All right, so let's go into the engine control module here. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a look and see what we got. Now take a look. Module information is obviously just tells you like the serial number and other things. You can read a fault code. We don't have any fault codes. You can clear fault codes. There's no fault codes to clear. You can now read data stream. That is the live data stream. Read freeze frame. Freeze frame, again, as I told you on the OBD2 software, is if you got a check engine light, it takes a snapshot of each value of specific data pits at that point and stores it in the computer, so you're able to use that for diagnostics. And then you have the actuation test. That's where you get the bidirectional controls. Now, what we're going to do first, we're going to go to read data stream because we want to see how well this thing graphs. And I got to say, I already know how it does. It does quite well. So I'm going to go down. Can you do search here? You can do search, but I'm going to just scroll through real quick. See if I can find, I usually do, let's see, short-term and long-term fuel trim. And let's see here, fuel trim, if I can find it. Let's say search right quick. That was taking a little too long. Okay, let's do short-term, long-term fuel trim. And we'll also do, let's back up and do oxygen sensors. Let's see what, oh, let's do, maybe it's H2O. Whoop, did that. Oh yeah, this thing, let me just move this up right out of the way. Might be H2O, maybe. HO2, I guess. I don't know, sometimes this, I don't know which, let's see, HO. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, duty, heater, H2O, sensor current, heater current, output voltage. Let's just do these two here, heater current, that'll be fine. We're gonna hit OK. I thought I had the other four, I did not. Let's go back here, sorry about that. I did not do the fuel trim. I thought I had the fuel trims as well. What was that even called? I did have them. Okay. Wait a minute. Give me a second here, y'all. Okay, so let's hit OK. Oh, there we go. All right, so as we can see, if we look in the column where it says graph, we have 4 red graph icons. So these all can be graphs. So what you would do now is you could just hit compare. Let's hit graph, sorry. We hit graph and voila, we got 4 graphs on the screen. And this looks pretty good. I mean, you can clearly see the values on the X and Y axis. Each line has its own color. And if any noticeable oscillations would be happening, you would be able to see it. But for right now, everything is going just as it should. Let's hit combine real quick. And if you hit combine, if you want to do that, you can put 4. This might be a little overwhelming depending on the situation, but in some cases you might need to see the data pairs overlaid. So for example, oxygen sensors would be good if you wanted to, say if you're about to make a call to say to somebody catalytic converter was bad because the oxygen sensors were oscillating at the exact same moments. Overlaying that will help you be more confident in making that call, because that'd be a quite expensive call to be wrong. All right, so let's go back here. Let's just click one of these data pairs. If you just click one of them, one of these graphs, it'll just pull up just that one graph. So you need more resolution, you can actually do that. Let's see, can you pinch the screen? Yeah, you can actually pinch and change the, okay, let's see. Yeah, you can pinch, you can zoom in going right to left on the screen, and you can do the Y-axis by going up and down. You can do that as well. You can also hit these plus buttons up here, I'm assuming, and add more. Yeah, you can add another graph here. We'll do that. So all in all, the scan is pretty fast and the graphing looks really good. All right, so let's go back here. Let's see if we can find us some good old actuation tests here. I want to find something simple to do here, so we make this pretty short and sweet. Hit OK. Let's do, no, that's in the engine control module. We don't, that's right, we don't have access to the body control module here, do we? No, we don't. So I don't have access to the body control module because I was going to like blow the horn or something like that. There's really, nothing that I can demonstrate here at the moment because I don't want to do anything in the engine control module. Let me take a look in the, let's take a look in the ABS system, see is there anything that would be, reasonable. Nope. But that's, let's see, let's take it up. Yeah, no, and I know it ain't nothing in the transmission control module that I would want to demonstrate. But still, you do have these actuation tests, and I can't demonstrate one now because none of these would make sense for me to do because there's nothing wrong with the car, and that I don't really want to do anything to anything for no reason. So, but that's how you would do an actuation test. You would go through here, go and say if you wanted to check the shift lock solenoid, the shift solenoid B, the solenoid OP, the pump activation of the CVT oil pressure, learning value reset. You could actually come in here and do that right through this menu right here. So anyway, with that said, guys, man, this has been the Kingbolen S608. This right here, I think, is a good value for the price. It's sub $200. You can click my Amazon link below in the description or in the pinned comments if you care to take a look at it. But I think it's easy to use. It gives you all the information you need, all the relevant information you need, all the nice graphing that you need, and has a good amount of resets to tackle mostly anything that might happen to your car. So anyway, guys, take care. If you got any questions, put them down below in the comments. And if you stayed this far, please hit that like button. That helps me out more than anything. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.